The flight to Oldar was calm at first. Cold autumn wind clotted exposed skin as they climbed higher into thinning air, the world below shrinking into a tapestry of copper and gold. The northern forests had already begun surrendering to winter. Leaves bled into deep crimson, branches rattled in brittle protest, and frost traced silver veins along the edges of distant rivers. Damon adjusted his scarf and tightened his goggles as Sivares maintained a steady rhythm, her wings slicing through pale sunlight with the confidence of long practice. Each downbeat was measured. Efficient. Controlled. Emily pulled her cloak tighter around her shoulders. Winter had teeth in the north. But the cold did not last. As they crossed the mountain ring, something changed. It wasn't gradual. It wasn't subtle. The bite in the air vanished as if severed by an invisible blade, replaced by a rising warmth that grew stronger with every wing beat. The wind no longer cut, it pressed. Heavy. Breathing against them. Smoke drifted upward in long gray ribbons. The mountains opened into a jagged circle, and at its center, something burned brighter than sunlight reflected on steel. Rivers of lava carved glowing paths down blackened stone. Heat rolled upward in visible waves, bending the air itself. Emily shielded her face as they passed over one of the molten streams. The updraft caught Sivares' wings and lifted her effortlessly, thermals born from the living earth pushing them higher. They actually built a city inside that, Emily breathed, a overwhelming disbelief. I thought it was a legend. Dwarves don't lie about engineering, Keys said dryly from inside Damon's satchel. They lie about beard length. Oldar revealed itself slowly as they descended. Not a fragile settlement clinging to rock. Not a desperate outpost. A fortress carved directly into the caldera. Stone bridges arched across controlled magma channels. Massive gates of iron and layered basalt stood beneath blackened arches scarred by centuries of heat. Chimneys vented smoke in measured plumes, not chaotic, not wild, but directed. Controlled. How does it stand? Emily whispered. Layered stone. Reinforced cores. Pressure venting systems, Damon replied. And stubbornness. Keys pushed her head out of the satchel, whiskers twitching in heated air. And no magic, she added. Not a drop of mana holding any of it together. That's pressure regulation. Heat redirection. Mechanical leverage. They engineered stability out of a volcano. Below them, molten rock flowed like living light. Yet the city did not tremble. It endured. Sivares angled into a controlled descent toward the landing platforms carved along the outer rim. Her shadow crossed the colossal stone statues flanking the gate, dwarven warriors carved directly into the mountain, axes resting against their shoulders, eyes forever fixed forward. If anyone can mend what was denied the sky, Sivares said quietly, it will be those who built a city inside fire. The heat thickened as they landed. Not flame. Not burning. But the constant, physical press of an eternal forge. At the base of the gate stood two dwarves in polished bronze armor, so still Emily nearly mistook them for statues. They're guards, Damon murmured. One shifted. Metal plates ground softly as he straightened and removed his helm, revealing a braided beard threaded with iron rings. Well now, he said dryly, looking up at Sivares. Courier and shadow. Third visit, is it? Third, Damon confirmed with a faint smile. And no collapsed towers yet. Improvement. Sivares lowered her head in greeting. Gate Captain Bran. The second guard snorted quietly. She remembers. She always did, Bran replied. Emily blinked. You've been here before? Twice, Damon said. Trade relay once. Equipment acquisition the other. And now? We need a healer. The humor evaporated. Bran's gaze shifted from Damon to Sivares to the empty road behind them. For you, he asked. For another, Sivares answered. A young gold dragon. Wings malformed from birth. The guards exchanged a glance. You know we don't deal in miracles, Bran said carefully. We're not asking for miracles, Damon replied evenly. We're asking for dwarves. A corner of Bran's beard twitched. Aye, he muttered. That's worse. He signaled. Deep within the mountain, mechanisms engaged. Chains shifted. Counterweights descended. The colossal doors began to move not magically but with deliberate, engineered certainty. No mana. Emily whispered as the gates opened. If it stands, Bran said, it was built right. They passed beneath stone guardians and entered Oldar once more. Inside, the heat struck like a solid wall. The air shimmered faintly, heavy with mineral scent and iron. Emily looked at Damon. You're not even sweating. That would be me, Keys said smugly. A wave of cool air wrapped gently around Emily. Heat shield, Keys explained. Learned it after the second expedition here. Damon wilted dramatically. I did not. You wilted. Emily concentrated. After 2 failed attempts, she felt the magic settle properly, a subtle redirection rather than resistance. Relief washed through her. And then she truly saw Oldar. There was no ceiling, only the volcanic throat stretching high above, platforms carved into inner walls like stacked terraces. Iron lifts ran on thick chains. Gearworks turned slowly, driven by pressure differentials and thermal expansion. Magma flowed through engineered channels like glowing aqueducts. Every surface bore deliberate marks of craft. Nothing was accidental. Dwarves paused in their work as Sivares passed, but their looks were not fearful. They assessed her the way they assess stone. By weight. By structure. By balance. They're not afraid, Emily murmured. They live inside a volcano, Damon said. Perspective. They passed a lava-fed cooking channel where skewers roasted over controlled flame. That stall's got good grobe meat, Damon added casually. You don't want to know what a grobe is. Keys went quiet. I asked once, she said faintly. I regret it. Eventually, the tone of hammering changed. Less forging. More adjusting. The Hall of Healing stood beneath a reinforced arch carved with dwarves lifting fallen comrades and bracing shattered beams. Above the entrance, cut cleanly into stone. What is broken can be made stronger. Inside, there were no candles. No prayers. Only workbenches. Dwarves moved between reinforced slabs where patients lay calmly. Some bore mechanical limbs. Others had braced ribs or reinforced shoulders. Metal and flesh cooperated here. Bodies were not sanctified. They were repaired. When Sivares entered, noise softened, not from fear but attention. Damon approached the iron desk. We're here about wings. The word carried. An older dwarf with a silver beard and layered magnifying lenses turned slowly. Wings? Not mine, Sivares said. A young gold dragon. Malformed from birth. Murmurs rippled. Not doubt. Calculation. He is not here yet, Damon added. We flew ahead so you could prepare. The old healer stood. You flew ahead to give us time? Yes. Good, he said. We don't rush structure. Damon withdrew Reveille's folded packet and placed it on the desk. Diagrams. Bone alignment sketches. Muscle compensation patterns. Rotational torque mapping. The healer adjusted his lenses and read. Silence deepened. How did you get this without cutting him open? He asked finally. Resonance mapping, Emily answered. Mana pulses reflect differently through tissue and bone. It's non-invasive. The dwarf studied her. Using magic. Yes. He looked back to the pages. So this is a map. Not a solution, she said. You'd build that. The healer nodded slowly. We trust measurements, he said. Magic or no. If the numbers hold, they hold. Orders were given. Frames prepared. Reinforced dragonspan rigs rolled into position. If the bones carry strain, the healer said, there's strength to work with. They do, Sivares replied. They've just never lifted him. The dwarf's eyes sharpened. Good. He closed the packet and handed it back. 2 weeks? 2, Damon confirmed. Then we'll be ready. He looked toward the upper platforms where braces were already being moved into place. If the lad's wings will bear correction, he said steadily, we'll teach them how to carry sky. And in the forge-lit heart of a city built inside fire. Hope did not feel like fantasy. It felt like engineering.